Vijay, author of Reverse Innovation. First of all, it's rare that somebody creates kind of a new big concept, a new piece of terminology, but Harvard Business Review, celebrating their 90th anniversary, is putting together the timeline of the best big concepts, and you're the last one listed there. So first of all, congratulations. But tell us about this concept. What is reverse innovation?
See, reverse innovation is historically multinationals innovated in a rich country like the US and sold those products in a poor country like India. Reverse innovation is about reversing that process. Innovate in a poor country and bring those products into a rich country. And that is probably the biggest opportunity for corporations going forward.
And give me the size of the market. We've got 7 billion people on the planet. Give me the numbers. Who's rich, who's poor?
The poor countries, incidentally, rich and poor, the definition is the World Bank definition.
All right.
You take the GDP per capita average, draw a line, any country below that is supposed to be poor.
All right.
There are about 160 poor countries. They represent 6 billion out of the 7 billion population. That means 6 times more customers are in poor countries. And they represent $30 trillion of GDP, $30 trillion. And we know poor countries are growing faster than rich countries. If there's a 5% growth in the 30 trillion, that's $1.5 trillion of annual growth. That's the size of the market, $1,500 billion of annual growth.
So this is huge. This is a market twice the size of the United States. And your point is, this isn't about doing social work. You can make a great profit at doing this kind of business. So tell us one of the examples. I love the artificial leg. Give us the difference in price and what Dr. J's achieved.
I think it's absolutely right. It's about making money and also doing good.
That's right.
An example is prosthetic leg. In the US, an artificial leg costs $20,000. And someone in Thailand has innovated a $30 artificial leg. And the $30 artificial leg is good quality, and you can actually make a profit because the size of the market is so huge. That's the kind of opportunity. It's a lower price point, but you offer value. It's not about lowering costs, it's about offering value for a low cost. And you can make sizable profits.
Now, you say it's a good quality, but boy, what I heard was lighter, more flexible, allowed the folks in Thailand that need these are going to do a lot more on their leg than we are in the United States. So you don't have to sacrifice quality.
Absolutely. In fact, that's the beauty of it. It's about thinking differently. And how can we really dramatically improve quality while dramatically lowering cost? And it's a simple product, but very high quality at a low cost. This is the kind of thinking we need in the US.
And our companies had better be concerned in the US because they're not just selling these products in the poor countries. These innovations now are coming to the rich countries and competing with our own products and services.
Without a question. We saw this in the 70s and 80s when Japanese automakers brought their cars into the US and disrupted the big tree in Detroit. That would be nothing compared to the disruption that could happen if ultra low cost, good enough quality products come into the US from China or India or Africa, etc. That's the real threat. The real threat for American companies are not other American companies. Right. It's a competitor you've never even heard of.
Yeah, 12 time zones away on the other side of the planet. And last, I loved how you pointed out that that's really what made the United States great in the first place. Henry Ford give us the numbers.
Yeah. See, when you think about it, America was a poor country 100 years ago.
Yes.
And we've become a rich country by exactly doing this. Because Henry Ford created a Model T, $600 car, when automobile was handmade, therefore it costed tens of thousands of dollars. He made a simple car, good quality car, at an affordable price that essentially opened up a huge market for automobiles. And Henry Ford was making money. He's not a charity. And he was also including his employees, his customers, into the value that he was creating. Ultimately, that's all businesses should do. You must first create value for society. He doubled the wages of his workers. He essentially gave an access to automobile for 90% of Americans, which really created the American consumer boom, if you will. Therefore, it is about doing good and making money.
And in important industries. I mean, right now, our backs are being broke by the healthcare costs in the United States. And you gave an amazing example where heart surgery here, $50,000. In India, really under much tougher conditions, $2,000. And now they're bringing that idea to the Cayman Islands. And so what's going on there?
Same idea. I mean, our healthcare industry is industry which is broke,
Yeah.
very high cost, not necessarily best-in-class quality, not universal access.
Right.
And what is happening in poor countries is because they have few doctors and they have to take care of a lot of patients who can't pay a lot, they actually think of innovation. And those innovations can actually come and change the way we conduct our healthcare industry and structure it going forward. Therefore, just about every industry, similarly education, our education, higher education cost is so high, and it is becoming inaccessible to the middle class. Guess what? There are innovations going on in education industry in poor countries which can come to transform our education industry. Therefore, this can happen in transportation. There's a $2,000 car, the Tata Nano that's being launched in India. Again, just to thinking about it, the $600 Ford Model T, adjusted for inflation, will cost $20,000 today. In $2012, somebody is making a $2,000 car. That's going to fundamentally change the automobile industry. So we need to think about how do we participate in the growth in these poor countries, not because of helping them. Of course, you're helping them, more helping yourself, because it's going to come back here.
Yeah, and so the Americans have been missing in action in this space. And so part of your message is we need to up our game as mid-market companies.
Absolutely, because I think American companies have resources, they have technology, they have capabilities. Now we have to change our mindset. We have to become humble. We have to accept that we don't have all the answers. Certainly we have a lot of answers. That doesn't mean you have monopoly. So let's be humble and try to learn from these poor countries.
So Vijay, they need to read your book, Reverse Innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that, man.